What's up guys, YCS here. I finally got my invite yesterday at Rockville Regionals using my X-Saber deck. I went 6-2-1. I got a draw because of, we went into overtime because we had to get a deck check. And my two losses were to Samurai and Gravekeepers, and there was nothing I could have done about those losses. They just had the nuts. Samurai had the gateway and the warnings, and Gravekeepers had the first Sun Royal Tribute and Oppression, so I couldn't do anything about those games. The regionals I went to was pretty stacked. There were around 350 people, 9 Swiss rounds, and a bunch of pro players were there, like Roy St. Clair, Courtney Waller, Nick Anderson, and Sean Mccabe. I actually didn't get a chance to talk with any of them except, well, Nick Anderson goes to my locals, but I didn't get a chance to talk with any of the other ones except for Courtney Waller, and me and him got to chat a little bit. He's a really cool dude. So I guess onto the deck. This deck I just pretty much threw it together the Friday before the regionals. Tested a bit at my locals, but yeah, it was pretty good. So we've got 2 Fall Troll. Some people like 3, but I think it clogs your hands, and 2 is all you really need because you can search it out with Dark Soul. 3 Boggart Knight. I don't think you can run 2, you have to run 3 because Boggart Knight is what lets you summon Fall Troll. It's basically a Marauding Captain. Next we've got 3 Full Helm Knight. 3 is staple in X-Sabers because it's very good. It's the main tuner. You run over a defense position monster, you get to revive a level 4 lower X-Saber from your grave, and you can negate 1 attack. Very, very good. 3 Emmer's Blade. You can't run 2, I'm sorry. You have to run 3 Emmer's Blades. This format is I don't want to say it's slower, but Emmer's Blade is more crucial this format than it was before, so you need 3. Helps you set up faster. 3 Dark Soul. It's the Sangan of the deck, perhaps even better. Even though it only searches during the end phase, you can stack searches, and you know, it's just amazing. It's what makes the deck good. 2 Poshul. 2 is the perfect amount. 1's too little, 3's too much. Not only can it be set and used to stall, but its main use is a 2-star tuner. It can go Naturia Beast with Dark Soul. It's an instant Hunlay with Boggart Knight, and combined with Fall Troll you can make any level 8. And then the final monster is Gores. Right before the regionals I took out the 3rd Fall Troll for Gores. I just took out the 3rd Fall Troll because I didn't like 3 Fall Troll, and I didn't really know what to put in, so I just stuck in Gores. And it wasn't really too helpful, but I don't think I'm going to take it out. I'll probably just leave it in for now. So that was 17 monsters. On the spells, we've got 2 Duality. Some people don't like Duality and X-Sabers, but I guess it really depends on your playstyle. Although I was playing very aggressively yesterday, Duality was still very good in helping me get to those key cards a lot faster. And I don't like Gold Sarko because it's not a good top deck. Because Pa Duality is a better top deck than that. They're both bad, but whatever. So, 2 Enemy Controller. Some people don't like any, and some people only run 1. And I was running 1 before, and I just stuck in another one before the regionals, and it helped a lot. It's very good. I like 2. I feel like 3 is too much. The effect to turn your opponent's monster to defense mode lets you abuse Full Helm Knight. And also the tributing effect it saved me so much. You can tribute your own monster, take control of your opponent's monster. It saved my Dark Soul from Monarchs, so let me take control of my opponent's monsters. It was really good. Mind Control. You take control of your opponent's monsters, and then you synchro with it using your tuners. Also, you can take control of your opponent's flip effects, because you can take face down monsters, like Raikou, and then you get to use Raikou's effect. 1 book, sadly, went down to 1, but this is the reason why X-Sabers are so much better. Besides not getting hit by the ban list, book is the main thing that stopped them from swarming. And now that this is 1, I feel a lot safer going with those Bogart plays. 2 MST, you need 2 because of Gravekeepers and Samurai. Giant Trunade, OTK enabler. Reborn staple and Dark Hole staple. So that was 11 spells, and on the traps, we've got two bottomless trap hole. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people don't like maining this, what with trap stun and such, and it's not good against sabers or chaos plants or samurai, but it's still really good and against a lot of other decks, and I liked it a lot. So I'm keeping that in there. 2, Gotham's Emergency Call. 3 is too much because it conflicts with trap stun. 2 is a perfect amount, and what can I say, this card is amazing. 2, Trap Stun. 3 is too much because it conflicts with E-Call. Also, it can be a dead draw if you run 3, so 2 is just the perfect amount, and it lets you get those Hunlei plays off a lot easier. 1, 7 Tools. I guess you could run 2, but I like 1. It stops your opponent's trap stuns and their warnings and such. Mirror Force, I still like it. Torrential, good card. 2, Warning. I mean, it's warning. It's so good. And 1, Solemn Judgment. So that was 12 traps, making a 40 card main deck. And I guess I'll show you guys the extra, and then I'll also show you guys the side after the extra. So the extra was, I was done in order. 1, Gotham's. I don't think you need 2. I never needed 2. 1, Mistworm. I actually never summoned it, but nice to have. Scrap Dragon. Amazing, amazing card. Colossal Fighter. Also very good. 1, Stardust. You don't need 2. 1, Black Rose. Never summoned it, but it's always nice to have. Urbellum. I don't think I summoned him either, but whatever. Gaia Knight, I actually went for this dude a couple times. It's very helpful because it's 2600 attack, lets you run over Monarchs and Stardust, and sometimes it's hard to get over Goyo Guardian if you can't go level 8. So I'll go Gaia Knight and then enemy controller the Gores into defense mode and run over it with Gaia Knight. So you need that in there. Make sure you have Barkion, negate traps, it's really good. 2, Hunlei, you don't need 3. 2 is good. Blow up your opponent's back rows. Don't be afraid to go to Hunlei even if you don't have a trap stun, because most of the time they won't have a warning and you can just blow up their whole back row. My main strategy of winning, and it worked a lot, was just not to be afraid and hitting all 3 of their back row because I knew they didn't have a warning. And then Brian X, staple. Make sure you Beast, very, very good. Catastor, and 1 Chimera Tech because I side Cyber Dragons. So on to the side deck. 2 Cyber Dragons for the hero beat decks, for gadgets, you know, those decks. I guess Gravekeepers. And Glad Beast too. 2 Puppet Plant. I actually didn't like this at all. It didn't really help. I drew it against Samurais, but I didn't have any tuners, so it's pretty useless. And I don't know, it's a good card, it just never helped me. I did attack for game once with Puppet Plant, but Kinetic Soldier would have done the exact same thing. So maybe I'll switch these 2 out for 2 Kinetic Soldiers. 2 Effect Veiler, you know, really good. Stops your opponents when they're under trap stun and such, and also good in the Frog Monarch matchup. 2 DD Crow. I was citing 2 D Prison to help with the Glad matchup, but I heard there's a lot of scraps before the regional started from my friends, so last minute decision was switching to 2 DD Crows, and I never ended up playing Scraps or Glad Beasts, but I did play Frog Monarchs, and DD Crow helped out a lot. That's it for the monsters. We've got only 2 spells, 2 Noblemen of Crossout for plants, Lightsworn, or maybe Lightsworn, I don't know, and mainly Gravekeepers, because Gravekeepers are, in my opinion, the hardest matchup. Some people think Frog Monarchs are, but I personally don't have a problem with them. It's just Gravekeepers. I actually never got to draw this against them, so that was a shame. 2 Chain Disappearance for Frog Monarchs and plants, and also Samurai, because you can remove their Kageki or Kagamusha, and then they can't do a thing. This card is really good. And before, I didn't think it was necessary to main 2 or side 2 Chain Disappearance as well as 2 Noblemen of Crossout. But I think having 2 of each is good, and then also the 2 DD Crows adds extra removal. So that's why I have no trouble against the Frog matchup. 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. I never drew this, but I did test with this before, and it's extremely good against Gravekeepers. It just shuts them down. You could also use Closed Forest. That's also a very good side deck card, but I didn't have access to that, so yeah. The last trap is Royal Oppression. This card is amazing. I'm just not maining it because it doesn't hit some decks like Hero. Well, it depends on the Hero deck. But yeah, I don't main it. I do side it in a lot of matchups. It saved me and won me the game against Frog Monarchs because I don't know why, but he decided to special summon a Swap Frog. I guess he's bad. And then I just Royal Oppressioned it and he couldn't get Treeborn and Grave, and I kept Oppressioning his Faders. So yeah. That's the deck. It got me my invite, first time using it. Besides Friday, I played a lot of my first matchups, like my first Saber mirror match, and all I had played with this before was Chaos Plants, Frog Monarchs, and something else, but I barely played with it at all, and the fact that I managed to top with a build that I had thrown together and barely played with, it just says that the deck is really good. So if I were you, I'd give this build a try and see if you like it or not. You are gonna have to spend a lot of money on it, but it's worth it. Alright, see ya.